Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Got lots of love. Got lots of love. Lots of love. Love. Got lots of love. Love.
Sitting in a 4v3.
Everyone from esports trying to find what angle they can, trying to find somebody out of position.
We're gonna go through on this. Oh, what a wall. See White gonna go in.
It's going to be a really, really interesting one.
Oh my god. All of this competition could be so damn close, so I cannot wait for us to finally decide who's going to be the champion. We are expecting some chaos, some great moments.
Beast Mode has killed 3. Only gonna really need that rampage, so it's gonna clear it out. Santi gonna give themselves a big old 4K. Santi's getting rid of 3, clearing out the house.
That is crazy.
Nunji actually kills 3 people.
This team feels entirely different on this faster composition. Right now, Saga is hanging around, getting onto the high ground. Post bomb's gonna stick under Leaky. They're not gonna be able to survive it at the end of the day. Blue manages to find a 3K.
Rio shoving this Lana into a corner. Woo! One more for the road for Rio.
That is all signs go. Melophobia with 3 Melophobia. Start the fight. They'll end the fight. Oh my god. Beagle Bus, they have to play aggressively into this energy, popping off in a moment where you needed just that. Ruby in that backline. Oh, the flick. Looking for it. Oh my goodness. The 4th one as well. Do they get the ace? They get the ace. A spot in the NAGM Tier Grand Finals awaits the winner here tonight. Squirt Squad versus bigbigttarfan600. My name is Dextron, joined here tonight by Tryhard Ray. Ray, we have a great game here tonight, a rematch of week 3 between these two teams, where it was big T-Tarfan coming out on top in a series that went the distance.
Yeah, the big question is, can Squirt Squad get that revenge, or will lightning strike twice for the T-Tarfan Squad? And as we go on today, let's go ahead and pull up all of the matches we're going to have available for you guys today. Earlier on, we did have Yurei Mirai taking the big victory over Big Man Ting in a 3-2 banger. Obviously, right now we have Squirt Squad and big T-Tarfan600 right now live. In 30 minutes on CGL2, we'll have Demon Kittens going up against Vicious Unforgiven. And then later on tonight, I'm assuming it will likely be on CGL1. Unless this match goes long, it'll be on CGL3. We have Short Bus going up against Vicious Sharks.
Yeah, if I believe I'm correct, the one that starts here in a couple minutes is going to be an elimination match between and Vicious. It's going to be a fun one. And you said they have their org teammates there with Vicious Sharks going on later here tonight. But hey, let's focus back in on this Squirt Squad versus Big T-Tarfan matchup. It was a great one in week 3 of the regular season, but right now we are in the winners finals. The stakes are a little bit higher. One of these teams is going to be locking themselves into the grand finals.
Crazy that we already have the winners going on when we have so many matches in this loser bracket to be played. But that has the stones been casted for how this tournament has broken out. So whoever ends up losing here, honestly, is going to be waiting a while, and that could be, you get a lot of time off for both teams technically, because, whoever wins is just going to be waiting for the losers bracket to play itself out. So that could either be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, a little nudge, hint there to those two teams that you have yet to play that losers first round game there. But yeah, the big break could be something that really does hurt the team that ends up losing here tonight. And it could also be something that hurts the team that does win here tonight, because they have an even longer break after it. Just too much time to sit back and, kind of watch all the other teams and scrim. Sometimes you just get caught up in your own head knowing or thinking that you know what you have to do already.
But as we take a little more focused look on this matchup, finals on the line. I mean, ideally, we all know you just want to win here. You want to make it to the grand finals. You don't want to have to take the harder path through the losers bracket. So this matchup tonight is going to be extremely important. So let's go ahead and pull up the roster for Squirt Squad, the underdogs coming into this competition after taking that loss in week 3, going the distance. We got Nuke, Pineapple, Brighting, and Honey and Zazo.
Yeah, I mean, Ray, this is a very good lineup here. Both these teams are significantly deep in their rosters, 12 members on each of them here. So throughout the night, I would not be surprised to see a lot of subs come in and out depending on what map we go, and especially what composition we will see throughout it. While Malga might be dominant, there are definitely some maps where you can just not afford to play the Samoan.
Oh, Tino, my apologies. It looked like a Q on my screen. But
Same.
I could not agree with you more. So that's going to be the big question, is how do these teams adapt as the series goes on, and how do they deal and counterpunch with each other and what they're playing? Let's go ahead and bull up big T-Tarfan's roster. We got Bearfoo, Piggles, Kristen, Nyla, and Spicy Toast.
Ray, two members of this team that immediately stand out to me are Piggles and Spicy Toast, being able to cast big T-Tarfan throughout this entire season. I got to get a good idea of how this team plays. Piggles and Spicy Toast definitely going to be at the two you're going to be watching out for here tonight. But like I said before, these teams are two incredibly deep teams. A lot of subs waiting in the wings if anyone is having an off night here. So like I said, I believe we will be seeing a lot of those members being cycled in throughout the series here tonight. But Ray, I mean, let's focus in on the series a little bit more here. Best of 5, first to 3. We could potentially see 6 maps here, but it went the distance last time, and I'm imagining we're probably about to see the same thing here yet again.
And I'm very much looking forward to that, as, again, we mentioned it going the distance, so I think that's only what we continue to expect from both of these teams. But the series does have to start somewhere. Map number 1 is going to be Lijiang Tower.
And hey, what a great map to start out on. I say it all the time when we see this map. It is the best warm-up map in the game, especially if you guys have been, if the teams have yet to actually warm up together. You can always take that first point a little bit slower than a lot of the rest of the kind of control maps here. But it's going to be interesting to see what these teams come out with here. Yeah, we've already talked about it, and we will talk about more throughout the night. That Malga meta at the moment still very, very strong, but I have seen a lot of other compositions come out from higher tiers and lower tiers find success against the Malga Ray. What do you really expect to see here tonight?
I still think on certain maps like Lijiang Tower, we will see things like the Malga, but I think depending on how the map pool goes and the map picks come out from these teams, because after first map, it's open map pool for these teams. You get to pick map type and map, so it makes things that much more interesting. We've seen plenty of series where we go to dive maps and we play Wrecking Ball and Winston composition, so I think we could see a full arsenal of compositions today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. We could see a lot of different stuff come out here. We'll be heading into the game momentarily, but again, there's the starting lineups here. It's going to be really interesting, though. You want to always kind of watch that tank battle because there's only one of those characters here, but if we are seeing that Malga mirror, I feel like if there's a Reaper on one side and not on the other, you will see a huge difference in what team comes out on top.
We will be finding out shortly what these two teams are going to be looking to play. My question is, going into Lijiang Tower, the DPS are definitely important, but I think the other important part, I think we've seen a lot of teams where they, realize the hard stuck support meta right now is that Brig Juno, but we've seen a lot of teams try and make some subtle differences here or there. I've seen teams try and work in the Ana. We've seen Kiri try to be worked in every now and then. So are these teams going to just play that, Brig Juno, which I think we see both teams lining up to play right now?
Yeah, and I mean, both sides, not necessarily a surprise. Squirt Squad, though, I mean, they might be teasing us with something a little bit offbeat here, Ray.
We'll see. I never trust teams until we actually get things going. I think Big T-Tar fan, no surprises here. They are going to have Kristen on that Malga. I do think the interesting adaptation here is Piggles going on the Echo. So they're going Echo Reaper. So just lots of burst damage while Squirt Squad's going more dive with the Diva Tracer Genji.
And we saw this kind of composition come out from almost every team in OWCS at Stockholm, and it's not a shock. It's a very scary team to go up against, but if you're Squirt Squad, you have to be going after someone. Piggles might be the target, but no one seems to notice that Echo is in the backline. Kirsten now on the point, looking for anything they can, and Piggles will find the first one. Bri, though, going to come right back and trade them out. Big T-Tar fan going to be able to cap the point here first, but Squirt Squad, I just don't think they necessarily have the damage that's from the squad here to necessarily kind of keep up with T-Tar fan.
Yeah, they have to find picks pretty quick and easy in order to gain advantage in the fight, because the damage is definitely on the side of Big T-Tar, and being able to have high upkeep on this defense matrix is going to be important for Bri.
And you see them trying to go after Nyla here. Not going to be able to find them just yet, but that that support line, for T-Tar fan out of the picture here early on. That's exactly what you're looking for here. If you're Squirt Squad, you will find one more there on the Piggles before you do lose Honey, but you're able to clean up the rest of those picks. They're great kind of re-engaged there by Squirt Squad. Going to be able to take the point right back.
And just look at the ult for the supports of Squirt Squad compared to Big T-Tar fan. Huge advantage. So now when they're coming into these next couple fights, they can use this rally and this orbital ray aggressively and gain a lot of percentage.
They could use it aggressively, but I like it a little bit better as a defensive maneuver here. But the pulse bomb already out from Nuke. Say goodbye to Nyla. Say goodbye to Piggles. The orbital ray out on the field as well. And man, you're seeing those health bars just deplete for Big T-Tar fan. And Squirt Squad now looking in control here so far.
Looking so far so good. They did use 2 of their ultimates, while Big T-Tar fan has just played it safe, knew that this was not their fight, that they just need to hold on to their ults and buy their time, and this is going to be the big fight for them. They're going to have 5 to be able to use into this next fight.
Yeah, holding on to this rally, though, for Honey is going to be so big. It has to cancel out something, but they're immediately going to pop it off here first. This needs to be something that finds one. Pineapple with the blade out as well. You see the Death Blossom not going to be able to find anyone, but Kirsten going to be able to clean up one, finding a second one out there as well. Now everything going big T-Tar fans' way, as it's going to be Bearfoo picking up 3, and the point going to go right back over to them.
And the big thing for the T-Tar squad was no orbital ray was even built or used in that fight. So now you basically buy yourself another team fight win with that ult alone. That's why the Juno is so important. And Pickles gets the late stagger onto Nuke. Cage is now out as they're looking to just clean up more kills, and they get the Diva mech.
Bomb not going to come out there from Bri. I thought that might be something we actually see from them. Instead, they decide to hold on to it. I thought that would have been a good deterrent there for that Cage, but it's just an interesting play. You still have the orbital ray, though, if you're a T-Tar fan.
Probably a smart decision here is just to try and rush Big T-Tar fan quickly, get a fight going, get this orbital ray out quickly, and then take the next fight to try and re-engage, because I don't think you're going to win this next fight going up against orbital ray. So getting this out quickly to be able to get another re-engage on this point while you still have time is important.
There's the orbital ray, and yeah, you are absolutely right. There's no way in hell that Squirt Squad's gonna come back and win this fight. And if you're Bri Tino, you're looking for the edge. You're on your way there, but they're not gonna let you just kill yourself for free. Piggles will get that kill.
Yeah, Nuke should be able to get the touch regardless on this Tracer, but it's gonna be nowhere near a clean fight for the side of Squirt Squad. But no ults for Big T-Tar fan, but Nuke goes down. That's bad.
They had a pulse bomb ready to go. You lose Pineapple. Bri Tino's been holding on to this bomb now forever, and it honestly not going to really be able to find anything here. Yeah, it's going to buy him maybe a second longer of life. There's the bomb, the Death Blossom from Bearfoo. Nyla's going to be able to find them. Hey, the bomb does find one, but it's not going to be enough, as big T-Tar fan 600 had a fast start, lost the point there for a moment, but then finished off this point strong.
It really feels like this Diva is going to have trouble going up against this Mauga composition. Your only chance is being able to find Piggles or Nyla early in these fights, and they just weren't doing it enough and often to be able to continue to hold fights and keep things going. They got their ults early, was able to build a decent amount of percentage, but once that was down the drain, they didn't have a lot of staying power in those fights.
Yeah, and again, it's kind of just going to right now showing why the Mauga is a very strong pick. I mean, defense measures can only do so much, and you have to really be coordinated with your dives from Squirt Squad to be able to find any value. Like we did see them very early on once they were able to cap the point.
As we just see Pineapple going over to the Reaper, which I think is going to be nice, especially for the more close quarters map of Control Center.
I think it's just going to be a little bit better as well, because it will chunk down Kirsten here. But hey, it doesn't matter if you're able to chunk down the Mauga if you already lose one of your supports if you're Squirt Squad. And look at what that does to them. Already backing out. Big T-Tar fans should be able to cap the point here first.
Great start. I mean, when you're playing a composition like the Mauga and you're in the most brawly kind of position to be in, it's going to be a tough composition to crack. Zazo down early once again.
And now you lose Nuke, and it just seems like Squirt Squad might just be kind of throwing this fight here for the moment, not necessarily going to be able to find any picks. Instead, it's going to be 3 members of their own getting caught out. And like you said there, Zazo getting caught out very early again for the second straight fight.
As I do like this adaptation we see coming out of Squirt Squad, Bri going to go over to the Orisa, and we have Nuke pulling out the Mei. So isolating walls combined with the amount of damage you have now with the Orisa, I think could be key.
Ice Wall out, not going to be able to section off Kirsten, and Bearfoo, again, just being able to find people early on has been such a great help to their team. Down goes Bri Tino, down goes Pineapple. They're looking for more, but they already got the triple kill this fight, and big T-Tar fan building up to 50% on that bank.
With no ults even built up or used, Big T-Tar fan is absolutely dominating this map, and now they can use these ults to just dominate more.
Here comes the Blade, here comes the Death Blossom, and yet again it's Bearfoo finding 3. Piggles gets 1, but it's going to be Nuke able to escape back to the safety of the ship. But if you're Squirt Squad, what do you have to do here? You're being stonewalled at the door every time.
Yeah, you only have one fight left to be able to make something happen. I mean, maybe you throw your orbital ray in and hope and pray for something good to go your way.
You get the rally. There's the orbital ray. Honey will be able to find one. Finally, blood drawn on the side of Squirt Squad here, as they're going to be able to get the team kill here. But big T-Tar fan 600 knows they've done everything they need to do there, and Hell, they got 2 big ultimates out from Squirt Squad there. They have their own orbital ray ready to go.
Yeah, getting both the support ultimates out was huge for Big T Tarfan. So this orbital ray can go unchecked in this fight. The only hope for Squirt Squad is to throw in these DPS ultimates or use your Orisa ult to get a lot of kills.
Everything out here from Squirt Squad isn't going to be able to find anything. The Blizzard's going to be huge. It's actually going to completely negate the Cage and Orbital Ray combo there. That is exactly what this Squirt Squad needed here right now to just help them out a little bit.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of breathing room. Still a long way to go on the percentage scale. And the big issue is because you just burn 3 ults, you're going to be in the hole for a while. But getting picks early in the fight like that is what you're looking for.
Especially getting rid of Bear Food. Nyla going to be the first one to follow them after that. And a nice ice wall there by Nuke. And they're just cleaning up now. This is exactly what Squirt Squad needed to do. Big T-Tarfan was doing this to them. Now they're just returning it right back.
Yeah, one fight, 50% ult charge gained for Nuke. Being able to get this Blizzard online this quickly is going to be key to trying and reversing the fates on this map, as Big Tarfan is getting really close to their DPS ultimates.
Pickles, yeah, like you said, almost about to have that play. Death Blossom almost ready as well. Ice Wall not going to be enough there, and you see what happens because of it. Squirt Squad played aggressively, and man, does it come back to bite them hard. Big T-Tarfan going to be able to retake the point here now, but you do see Pineapple just stalling it out for as long as they can.
Yeah, we're going to see bigbigttarfan go over to the Wrecking Ball to try and touch quickly. Should have an avenue to be able to do that as Blade gets pulled out.
And down goes Honey. Nice shot there by Barefoot. Everyone else just returned to the safety of the spawn, and there's going to be no touches coming out from the Squirt Squad. Actually, no. bigbigttarfan on the ball, going to be able to get 1 touch here, but how long can they really keep this up?
Not much longer. bigbigttarfan goes down, and there's no touches left for the side. I say that, but the Wraith form from Pineapple gets the touch just in time, goes down. Is it buys time for Zaza to be able to touch, but it's not really going to matter that much. Orbital Ray was able to be put in, but with no players on the field, it is going to be all for nothing. Big Tarfan takes map number 1 in a dominating fashion.
A very dominant fashion, especially that second point there. I mean, it was almost kind of like we saw the same point 2 times in a row. Big TarFan600 able to keep the point first. You kind of stopped Squirt Squad for a little bit. Squirt Squad finally able to break through, won a couple fights. Maybe we thought they're getting back into the groove of it. Maybe they're finally figuring something out, but no. You see Big T-Tarfan come right back in, shut them down, and make sure they're never even able to get back to point. So a very, very good start here for Big T-Tarfan600. But what does Squirt Squad need to do here? Is it just a little bit of a compositional difference here right now? Do they really need to be mirroring that Malga?
I don't think necessarily. I think giving the open map pool we have, I think if you want to play these D.Va or Winston, I'm not sure if D.Va's the main composition they want to play. I mean, given you kind of pull it on Lijiang Tower, one might think that's, you know, one of your strong suits. If that's the case, you could just bring us to maps where that's going to be a little bit more possible. You go to maps like, you know, Blizzard World, you go like Noombani, you go like Watch Point, you go to maps where that's going to be a lot more playable and a lot more easier. So you keep that in your back pocket. The problem is there are, you know, we have to go to each map type if this goes 5 or whatever. Like if, you know, if they take you to a dive map and then they go, okay, let's go to Clash/Flashpoint, that's more brawl, and then they win that. You take them to another dive map, but most of the maps in this are going to be very, so when we go to push, there's not really a map on push that's super like dive is dominant here. Like all the push maps, this Malga composition can reign supreme. We do have the map pick coming in from Squirt Squad, and no surprises here. This is one of the maps I thought we'd see for the dive, which is Blizzard World.
Yeah, I mean, again, you could run the Malga here if you want, so Big T-Tarfan might not necessarily feel the worst about this pick, but like you said, Dive is very strong here, Poke is very strong here as well, and I mean, with how deep these teams are, I'm surprised right now that we're not actually getting any word of any subs. They run back with the same 5.
I think, you know, the D.Va had flashes on Lijiang Tower, but in a map where you're just so close quarters like that, you don't have a lot of space to work with. The D.Va is going to have trouble. There's not a lot of high ground control you can take. But on a map like Blizzard World, that's where things like that could shine. You could pull out a hit scan like an Ashe player. So I think the strategy changes now that you go to a map that can favor what Squirt Squad wants to play.
Yep, but as we head in here, this is a very pivotal map for Squirt Squad. They need to be able to bounce back because, like we said, Big T-Tarfan pretty much just dominated that last map. Yeah, Squirt Squad looked strong at points, but it was moments and points, not necessarily consistently strong. I need to see something here from Squirt Squad very early on this map, or I mean, I look at Big T-Tar's playoff run so far, 2 3-0 sweeps. I mean, they win this map. They're looking down the barrel of another sweep here.
Which the interesting thing about, that, I didn't think about this until, like now, but given how much time both of these teams are going to have to wait for their next match, we're probably going to be hitting a new patch by the time that comes out. Like, new tank's going to be in the game, and that can change everything. So we might, regardless of how this series goes, if they face each other again in like the grand finals, it could be a completely different series and a completely different meta. That is the most interesting thing that just popped in my head.
Yeah, and that might be a strategy here for some of these teams, just trying to drag out some of these matches as long as they can so they can get to that new meta. Maybe the Mauga is not the best thing here for them, but Barefoot coming out on the Widowmaker here. I like the pick here, especially for the starting of the attacking on the attacking side.
As we see Big Tarfan trying to just take the low ground, find a way in. I nuke on this Ashe on the high ground is going to be a tough sledding for them to be able to get them off of the high ground.
It's going to be, because you're going to either have to have both your DPS kind of dive up there at the same time to get them off, especially when you see both of Squirt Squad's supports are up there. So it's going to be very difficult, but there's already a deflect of that dynamite and already forcing Nuke off the high ground as well. No one dying just yet, but there's the first casualty. Spicy Toast, not the one you want to see falling here early on if you're a T-Tar fan, but if you're Kirsten, you can keep yourself alive here pretty, confidently, but you're losing more around you. Barefoot gonna find one, but it might be the only thing that Big T-Tar fan is gonna be able to get here. No, though. Kirsten alive and kicking, gonna be able to find one here, and Barefoot might actually be able to get the first tick here. And now Spicy Toast coming back. Somehow T-Tar fan's very much in this fight.
They do get the first tick, but the spawns are going to be in favor of the side of Squirt Squad.
Yeah, but I mean, the second tick already in their control. Squirt Squad, I mean, they're not even going to get back in for a contest. A little bit of a mistake there early on from them. And T-Tar fan picking up right where they left off.
Impressive. I mean, they had players hanging in there for a very long time and made things happen. This Kirsten on this Mauga has just been able to live. That's kind of the idea with the Mauga. You have so much health and your abilities just keep you alive for so long.
You never die. I mean, if no one's going to bother you enough, you're just not going to die on the Mauga. You can rotate through your abilities so fast, and it just doesn't seem like it should be able to do that here. But you look at Big T-Tar fan, about to have 4 of their ultimates ready to go here. Spice Toast going back over to the Brig here, probably the right move from them, but Bri has the bomb ready to go. Bob coming out here from Nuke. It needs to be able to find something. It's in a really good spot, but immediately gets melted down. Orbital Ray out as well. Finally able to find one right there. It's going to be Zazo finding their counterpart on the other side. Looking for one here. The torpedoes going to send Pickles back to the spawn. And finally, Squirt Squad can take a little bit of a breath of relief here.
Yeah, the second point, especially for someone like Nuke, is going to be very important. They just get free angles from wherever they wish and wherever they please. So Big T-Tar fan has to be looking out for them. And I mean, we just saw them on the high ground raining down so much damage. Got a good bob in. So it's going to be on them to try and get this Ashe off of the high ground.
And I like what they're doing here. They want to try to flip the grounds here. They want to just immediately bring the fight to the high ground. They have ultimates to play with here. I mean, look at them. 4, almost all 5 of their ultimates. Squirt Squad invested 2 heavy hitters last time, able to win them the fight, but now, do they have enough here necessarily to win them the next one?
It's going to be the big question. The rally, if they time it correctly, could negate a lot of these incoming ultimates, but here they go. They charge again.
Rally out, the blade out as well. Going to be able to find one there. Rally now out from Spicy Toast. The bomb from Bri not going to be able to find a damn thing there as Big T-Tar fan investing only 3 of their ultimates so far, but they're back in control of the card.
3 ults, and one of the ults they kept onto was that orbital ray. This is where things get tough. So really, it looks down at Pineapple having to find a lot with this blade, and you got to try and be aggressive with it before this Death Blossom and orbital ray come out.
Well, there's the blade from Pineapple. Already find Nyla before that Spicy Toast. The next one taking out Death Blossom, though. Out gonna be put to sleep, though, as Honey make the swaps over to the Ana here. A great play there by them. Kirsten, last one alive, gonna be able to find Honey, but they'll immediately be melted for their troubles.
You're still going to have the orbital ray for the next fight regardless if you are a big T-Tar fan. But they are making full sale swaps. Kirsten is now going to go over to the Diva, and they're taking a page out of Squirt Squad's book, and they got Piggles on the Tracer and Bearfu on the Genji. So that is an interesting turn as we go to a pause. Like, that is just like anticipation at its highest. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Now we're just stuck in this perplexing kind of situation.
Very weird to see big T-Tar fan necessarily wanting to make these swaps here. I mean, the Mauga has looked great, especially going up against this Diva. You have to wonder what's the thought process behind it. Are they concerned that maybe the Ana there is going to be a little bit too much to handle? There's really nothing on the other side that can cleanse and anti-nade, and you know with how aggressively almost every Mauga comp is, those anti-nades can immediately melt down that tank there. So that might be the reason you're seeing that swap come out from them.
The back line with Ana Juno is also extremely squishy, extremely susceptible to things like a combined effort of like a Tracer with a Diva and then Genji dashing in and getting those follow-ups with the dashes. And then also, you know, it gives you an ability to go after Nuke, who's been uncontested on this high ground as well.
Yeah, and absolutely. But look, you immediately see them go right back to Brig. So it worked like a charm for them, but I would have actually loved to see the Ana stick out here for Squirt Squad.
I think given the compositional swap, I think you need the Brig to protect your Juno.
Oh. Okay, there's Bob. Kirsten going to be able to find Nuke, the orbital ray coming out from Nyla, but you see everyone for Squirt Squad on the point. Briber, Tino not going to be able to get their bomb there, and you're just seeing everyone from Squirt Squad fall like dominoes, one after one after one. Point B, in control of T-Tar fan, 3 minutes on the clock.
And that, folks, is called the orbital ray difference. That's how good that ultimate is. Doesn't matter about anything else. One team has it, the other doesn't. Team who has it wins. That's kind of how that ult works. So this next fight, Zazo's going to have it and Big T-Tar isn't. So the likeliness of a good hold at this corner here is going to be good for Squirt Squad. And especially being able to hold at this first corner is very important for the second point defense. Be able to waste as much time as possible. This first corner is a very big hold point.
Absolutely. You see Briber Tino. They're using these jets to get in and out, just trying to tease them here a little bit, but you immediately say the speed come out there from Nyla. Piggle's going to be able to find one. Kirsten, though, going to get de-mech'd, but it doesn't necessarily matter. They're not in the mech. They're still going to be able to help their team win this fight. Pulse Bomb out. Going to be able to find Pineapple, who's just trying to run to safety. Briber Tino, though, going to be able to stay alive and in their mech. Kirsten, though, interesting debate you have here right now.
And you absolutely just cannot let that happen. You know, you have the orbital ray to be able to use, and they go down again with it in their back pocket. You do get Kirsten, you know, in response, and you get the blade out and still get them down. So I guess it's okay, but that could have been very dangerous for Squirt Squad.
It could have been very dangerous, especially as Big T-Tar fan still has a couple scary characters around. Piggles, that was the person I was talking about. They died there. You see everyone else trying to back out. Finding Nyla here would be huge. It will be a huge stagger, but they are able to get back to the safety of their team. However, Ray, half that time bank for T-Tar fan now gone.
But they did get a decent amount of distance on that cart. They got it past the first corner, so it makes it a little bit easier as orbital ray comes out for Squirt Squad.
And I don't necessarily know if I like this orbital
Yeah,
ray. I would have
not
been
at all.
holding on to it until Nyla had one of their own, because look at what big T-Tar fan has here now. They have a lot coming up. Squirt Squad, though, I mean, outside that orbital ray, they're about to have everything else ready to go, so it's going to be a couple heavy ult fights here.
Yeah, as this blade, there were a lot of low targets. I thought maybe that was going to get whipped out, but the rally and the blade, there it is.
Rally gonna be able to keep Piggles alive here. Pineapple has to escape with their own life. Rally now coming out from Honey here, just looking for anything. The Pulse Bomb gonna be able to find Spicy Toast as that Rally fades away. Gonna be able to grab that small health back, but they are being harassed here by Kirsten. Orbital Ray out from Nyla now as they look to just finish this fight before it even starts. Tino does have a bomb ready to go here as the rest of their team slowly dying behind them. They're gonna be able to get back in the mech here, but they're still losing their team at this point now. You just see them trying to stall out this cart just so that everyone can get back.
Yeah, you got it to within 30 seconds, so if you guys can just get a nice, long, contested touch fight. There's no ults outside a bomb for Big T-Tar fan, so you can at least get this to overtime, if not possibly stop them.
And right now, Squirt Squad, they're just trying to find an opening pick. They need something here to go their way. Big Tarfan, they're just going to back up. They kind of want Barefoot to build up to that blade here. Oh, I did not expect that. You don't normally see bombs be used aggressively anymore, and Zazo did not expect it either. Gonna be D-Mech, there is Brightino, and now everything's starting to fall apart here for Squirt Squad. The only saving grace, hey, that overtime ticker is counting down. Pineapple gonna be able to find one, but still, Big Tarfan just cleaning up the rest of Squirt Squad here. Nuke falls, Zazo gonna be the next one to fall, and that will be a point or map cap here for Big Tarfan.
I mean, considering, you know, there was like 3.5-ish, 4-ish minutes coming into third point, you did waste all of the time off of that clock if you're the side of Squirt Squad. So you got that to be able to live on. But, I mean, you've put yourself in a position where you're going to have to cap all 3 points. That's not always the easiest thing to do on Blizzard World. But you did kind of get Big Tarfan to go to the composition that you seem to like to play. So have you gotten them to play into your hand, and maybe things go better on this attack because now they're mirroring the comp that you want to play instead of being on the Malga to begin with?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I thought maybe they only made that swap because they were kind of worried about the Ana there, but then they stuck on it even after Honey came back out on the Brig, so it's going to be interesting to see. But, I mean, this would be a good opportunity right now to bring back out that Ana, but you see Big Tarfan, they're hesitant of it. Gonna come out rocking with the Diva here.
You saw the Malga initially, and you were going to be like, oh, they're very nervous, so they're going to go the Malga, but they went right back to the Diva. I mean, again, I just think on a map like this, it's going to be a little bit better. Being able to easily transition between this mid-level high ground is, you know, very important. Diva and Winston on this map. They are going to have Piggles play the Echo, which I think in this situation it can be tough because you are going against a Diva who can go at you in the skies like that. But because of how squishy the targets are, those sticky bombs of yours can do a lot against this composition.
I also like it for the focusing beam. Once Brightino gets below 50%, I mean, that's going to melt the mech no matter what. There's nothing they can do other than just run to make sure they don't try to get demeched here. But you already see Nuke getting into that back line here, and Piggles making this Echo pick already work out like a charm here, finding Zazo out early, who hasn't had the best kind of go here very early on in a lot of these fights.
As we see a backline gambit from the side of Squirt Squad absolutely failing. Barefoot, Kristen get Honey and Pineapple. That pretty much is going to lock up that first fight. Big Tarfan already wasted an entire minute off the clock. And, I mean, Piggles on the Echo is already paying off in dividends, being able to get Zazo out early. That's been one issue I've seen from Squirt Squad, is Zazo tends to go down very early in these fights. They got to correct those mistakes.
They got to, and like you said, like I kind of brought up, that's the third time they've been the first person picked out very early on in an engagement. I understand you're playing the Juno, but you cannot just be that far up, and hell, you need to start having your teammates kind of be around you at this point. That's kind of what you see Squirt Squad doing now. But Kirsten gonna get demeched here. This is the perfect start for Squirt Squad. Now all they need to do, confirm the kill and then go in off that. Kirsten down, but you're gonna lose Nuke in that backline. You kind of need them here for the Dynamites, but it looks like Big Tarfan might allow them to cap a tick or two.
I think it's going to be the smart decision. Make sure you get those 2 ticks re-engaged with your full 5 and try and stop the point. But Barefoot going down absolutely spells disaster. That's going to be 3 points for Squirt Squad as they finally get some positive momentum going their way.
And desperately needed as well. I mean, that first team fight, like you said, took off about a minute of their time. They didn't look very convincing on it. They found Kirsten out early. That's kind of what you need to be doing with this Diva on the other side, just getting them out of their mech, and then you start to see the rest of their team slowly following in after them.
I do like Nuke being on the Ash, especially to help deal with Piggles on this Echo. You will have that duplicate online for this next fight. The question is, who's the dupe target in this case? You know, normally when you're playing the Malga meta and you have the Echo, you know, the Reaper, the Malga tend to be the dupe targets, but I don't think it's as clear in these Diva mirrors.
We either look at it being Diva or potentially even one of those supports, and that's what Piggles does, is straight into a Brig. Might have not been the person they were looking for here, but it does help their team out as that DPS line here for Tarfan is just rolling through Squirt Squad.
Yeah, The combination of, we talked about how the sticky bombs can do a lot for the squishiness of the Squirt Squad, but they're not going to get it. But in combination with not only the focusing beam, but those Genji dashes and getting those resets is key. And Bearfu has been absolutely tearing through the back line of Squirt Squad.
Yeah, Bearfoot's had a good start to the series. Another aggressive bomb coming out. Not going to be able to find the value this time around, but you know what does find the value? The blade, of course. Bearfoot with one. Piggles going to clean up two, and Zazo just already sees the writing on the wall there. Just decides to go for a little swim in the Blizzard World pond.
Kind of think that's why we tend to see more defensive bombs come out. If you would have had that, you could have at least forced positioning away from Bearfu instead of, going aggressive, but they do go aggressively get Piggles out of the sky.
They need to find one target out first, and hey, Piggles is a really good one to get rid of first. Now Bearfu in that backline, somehow able to keep themselves alive. Dynamite coming out, should be able to melt them down. Zazu finding that one there now. Finally, Squirt Squad took them a little bit here, almost 2 minutes, but they're finally able to get the cart moving, and now if they can find one more pick to stagger out, it would be great for them, but looks like everyone for TTAR fans going to be able to safely back up.
Blade in the back pocket for Pineapple. Lots of ults online for Squirt Squad. And I think getting this point across in this particular fight is going to be very important for time bank sakes for Squirt Squad.
Orbital Ray out from one side, still holding on to the other side. Rally and Bob out now. The Orbital Ray coming out. Kirsten's bomb out on the field. Not going to be able to find anyone there. Blade out though, but you see Pineapple find one. Honey taken out of the engagement. The rally not going to be enough, but a huge Dynamite Blade combo there. Going to be able to find one more for a triple kill here for Pineapple, and that cart is just moving along. Kirsten, last one left alive here. Could stall out the cart just enough for their teammates to come back.
And, we get the comeback from the Tracer, but they're not able to get to the cart in time. Point gets capped. 3 minutes on the clock for Squirt Squad, and getting the point cap there is extremely important. Because if you would have been facing possibly overtime, and I think with this third point, you're going to need a few fights just to get this across the line. If you're in overtime, you really have to win every fight in a row to be able to get that to the finish line.
Yeah, and looking at some of the small things here, Squirt Squad giving themselves about an extra 15, 20 seconds here. Maybe gives you another fight that could be big for them here.
It could, as they get around the first corner. We see high ground trying to be taken by Bright Pride Tino.
And Kirsten went in maybe a little bit too far, using all that defense measures they have right there to keep themselves alive. You just see Bright Tino trying to get rid of them, but there's another duplicate into the Diva this time. Gonna be trying to build up a bomb, but they lose their own Diva to start out here. Piggles almost getting demeched, trying to get healed up as much as they can, but they'll finally be demeched as well here. Bomb, though, coming out from Bright Tino. Gonna be able to find Kirsten right before they get back in the mech, and now you start to see Squirt Squad just find all the kills they need here. Once they get rid of Bearfu, though, they should be able to easily push the cart for a moment.
Very favorable fight for Squirt Squad because all they used was bomb. So now you're in a situation. We got Piggles, who's on the venture right now. Interesting swap. But Squirt Squad has a lot of ults coming online very soon.
I don't hate it. They want to play a little bit aggressively here already. You see the rally coming out. Bob coming out here from Nuke, and they're actually in the back line. I don't think anyone notices it. Bob going to be able to find one right there onto Piggles, but Nuke struggling to find anyone. Blade from Bearfu could be huge here. Going to be able to find one now, dashing towards another one. Not going to be able to find them, though, as Squirt Squad still very much in this fight. Nyla investing the Orbital Ray there. That might be something you were really hoping to hold on for here.
I think, all things considered, Dex, probably the best use of the Orbital Ray considering the situation. I think worst case was Squirt Squad wins that fight and gets over a minute on the clock, and then you don't get a chance to defend for another chance. So I think that was a necessary sacrifice in order to save their hopes of being able to win this map.
Orbital Ray out from Squirt Squad. Early bomb in the backline. No one's going to be taken out by that one there. Blade out from Pineapple. Already finding one. Looking for a second one. There's number two. Bright Tino finds number three out as well. Kirsten and Nyla going to do what they can here just to stall out this cart as long as they can. They've already got it down under a minute, but getting it even lower would be music to their ears. However, there's going to be no one listening as everyone on that side is dead. 43 seconds is going to be the difference here.
See, exactly, Dex. And if they hadn't used that orbital array, we'd be sitting in a situation where Squirt would either be in a draw or win situation. Because they use it, waste those precious 25, 30 seconds, whatever it was. They get it below a minute. Now they get a minute to add to their time bank, and they have an opportunity to still win this map. So I think it was a very well timed. I mean, yes, would you have liked to have kept it? Yes. But in order to ensure you get a fighting chance to keep this map hope alive, you do it.
Yeah, and now, I mean, you look at this here. bigbigttarfan has a minute. Both these teams really did struggle on their first engagements in their first rounds attacking. So, and they both took off a minute here, so it's going to be really interesting to see what the big difference is. And so far, Ray, ttarfan, Kirsten on the Winston. What do you think about that?
I think on a map like Blizzard World, it's just fine. I think D.Va does a good job at applying a lot of pressure, especially those micro missiles to the Winston. I do wonder if that's what they're actually going to play. Yeah, I assume they're just probably going to match the D.Va at this point. It's been really even between these teams on this map with the D.Va composition, so I don't see why you would make some kind of like last-minute adjustment. For the side of Squirt Squad, once again, Nuke has been very crucial on these high ground engages with these dynamites, so ttarfan has to make sure that they limit the amount of value Nuke is finding.
Yeah, I mean, Nuke, though, I mean, they started out kind of slow last round. It took them around the point where they were finally able to break through the first point, or that second push hold there after the big choke to really get going. But Nuke, hey, not cold anymore, picking up right where they left off. Piggles already eliminated off the face of this earth. And if you're Squirt Squad, you're looking to try to stagger some people out here right now.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. One last attempt at this for Big ttarfan to try and get something. But neither of these teams are going to build any types of ult, so it's really just about these in-fight, mid-fight adjustments and how the communications go.
And already nice dynamite coming out there from Nuke. The deflect already out here from Barefoot, so that allows them to play a little bit more aggressively into that. And Nuke, again, the players you needed to be so hot this round, already on fire. Nuke finding another one there. Nice dynamite out yet again. And there's going to be no touch. There's going to be no touch from big ttarfan there. Squirt Squad has the opportunity to tie the series.
I called it. Who did they need to look out for? It was Nuke. And Nuke showed up in a big way. Found both the opening kills in those fights. And Squirt Squad did not look back. But for Squirt Squad, you got to take advantage here. You only need a tick. Do not make this a draw. This is exactly, don't play into their hand. Like, you've gotten this far. Bring it home. I believe you guys got this. I mean, it did take you guys a good minute. You know, you had the first fight that didn't go so well, and that wasted a minute off the clock, but then you came back and were strong. So given that you have just under 2 minutes, I think there's very much enough time, even if it goes the exact same as your first attack.
You know, sometimes we don't talk about speaking stuff into existence here, but Ray, I think you might have just spoken into existence, especially with big ttarfan coming out here on the Malka comp again. This could be something where Squirt Squad does struggle into it a little bit because they've been so used to them playing that D.Va comp here for the moment. Nuke, though, on the Ashe again, that's going to be the linchpin here, in my opinion. Like you said, that's who big ttarfan needed to get rid of last round. They need to be getting rid of Nuke again first this round if they want to be able to give Piggles and Barefoot chances to actually be able to play freely.
Yeah, exactly. Piggles can't just freely move around in the sky when Nuke has the dynamite and those shots available to just hit them consistently. So that is enemy number one for the side of big ttarfan.
Squirt Squad trying to take this high ground up here. Bigbigttarfan will be the first one to fall. Just trying to get something on point, but look at how ttarfan's playing this. They're actually playing it very close together. Not playing for any high ground, just playing for point control at the moment. And you see what that's doing here. Piggle's already low. The healers trying to do what they can to heal everyone up here, but Squirt Squad playing this slow at the moment.
Yeah, Nyla also gets very low. If they get Piggles or Nyla early in this fight, it might just be a quick and early team fight. Brian, I think, however, loses the mech. Absolutely devastating. They get Nyla.
They get Nyla, Nuke, and Bigbigttarfan taken out, though, so I don't necessarily think there's anything that Squirt Squad can really do here anymore, and they think the same thing. So a back out is happening here. 40 seconds on the clock. Their time bank difference is now gone.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. I mean, it's really only one final fight to be able to try and make something happen for the Squirt squad. The thing is, Pineapple, if this fight goes on long enough, might be able to build up a blade in the middle of this fight. So
We
could
might see a
Bearfu.
Bob. Yeah, we might see a Bob out as well. Zazo might be able to potentially even build up to an orbital ray as well. So we could see some stuff this time around. But we have to make sure there's not the same mistake that happened last time of no one touching the point. Dynamite out there from Nuke, 75 to a Bob here. 1 or 2 more shots does get them that. The touch is gonna be there, so we will go into an overtime. Nuke will find Pickles. Rally out from Spicy Toast. The Bob is ready. Gonna be out on some point now. Does that do enough here for Squirt Squad? Pineapple has the blade ready to go, but Bearfu has it first. Pineapple will find them out here. Kirsten, though, still alive. Gonna be able to find one. Pineapple, last one alive, but they have 2 people on the other side staring them down. Kirsten finds them there, and Ray, we spoke it into existence. We got the draw.
Oh, man. The draw. I'm sorry. That's definitely on me. That's on me, guys. I'm sorry. You know, when the time banks are so low, especially on a map like Blizzard World, it's just the first thing that pops into my head. I never want it to actually happen, but Bell has rung true this time on the draw board.
I mean, to be fair, I did say something about a draw potentially happening after the Squirt Squad offensive round there the first time around in our Discord chat. You were the one that said it out loud, though, so I think the blame is kind of on both of us there. They didn't cancel each other out, but if you look at this from the perspective of Big T-Tar fan, you are absolutely happy with that outcome there, because Squirt Squad really did figure something out there as that map went on. You just went back to your old tried and true in that defensive overtime round, and it worked out like a charm.
The issue is it just because you got rid of one of your dive specific rounds and maps. As the series progresses, it lowers, like, now basically it feels like you might have to go to escort to force dive again and hope you get the win this time, but it makes things that much tougher for Squirt Squad, as we are going to find out what map we get. That's 2 maps down, 1-0 in favor of Big T-Tar fan. We will find out how the series progresses right after this.
I'm not crazy, Malin. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years. 40 years.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. But you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
All right, welcome back, everybody. In the regular season, these two teams gave us a 5-map series. Well, with that draw there on Blizzard World, we could potentially be looking at 6 here tonight if these teams are able to do that here again. But, I mean, Ray, throughout this entire series so far, there have been moments where TTARFan has looked dominant. There have been moments where Squirt Squad has looked really good up against that Malga comp, but it was that Malga comp at the end of Blizzard World that really helped make sure that Big TTARFan did not go into that break with a tied series.
It sure did. And, you know, I just feel like I am on a roll with my predictions. Let's just go ahead and bring up that map. I literally said before the break, well, we're probably going to have to go to Escort next to keep this dive, and that's exactly where we're going. Escort is map 3. Dorado is the map choice, so expect more D.Va and more Winston out of the Squirt Squad.
Yeah, but this has been something, especially on last map, Big TTARFan did not necessarily care about having it be a dive map before. They still did run the Malga comp for the majority of their push phase or their attacking phase of that map and looked really, really good on it. Then they went over to the D.Va, and that's kind of where it started to get iffy. Yeah, they looked good at points, but you could see where Squirt Squad was kind of able to, you know, one-up them at points, and that's why they eventually went back over to that Malga comp on the defensive side just to make sure that they were running the best possible comp here. And I feel like that is definitely something that we could see on Dorado, especially after first point.
Listen, I see your counterpoint and raise you another counterpoint. With Blizzard World, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag. Blizzard World isn't you must run dive. It's not like a Watchpoint Gibraltar. I feel like Dorado and Watchpoint, it's like, even with the map changes, I still think it's a dive-centric map, and the brawl won't be as favorable. I still think maybe you can run it if you feel like we just can't match them on the D.Va, but I think it was all these consider, I mean, it was a 45-second time bank difference on the Diva. So I don't think it was that far off to where you have to panic because you're going to a full-on dive map.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to also give Baby Big T-Tarfan a lot of credit there because they held Squirt Squad for almost 2 minutes after Squirt Squad capped point A on Blizzard World at essentially the choke point there. And once Squirt Squad got through that, they never really looked back from it here. But going into Dorado, like you said, it's a little bit more of a dive-centric map. I feel like we could still see the Malga. But, I mean, maybe they come out on the Diva just saying, you know, we just need a little bit to warm up on it. Maybe right now we feel confident running it.
Only time will tell, as we'll be getting you guys into Dorado, hopefully here shortly, just waiting on the readies for the teams. But I think one thing to continue to keep in mind is, especially on Dorado, there's a lot more high ground and a lot more area for Nuke to work with on that Ashe, who had great pop-off moments on Blizzard World. Considering it's only kind of like mid-level high ground, imagine the amount of damage you can do from those high grounds that you get available to yourself on Dorado.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Nuke was a huge reason why that map even got completed for Squirt Squad. Even a great reason why there was no tick built up for Baby Big T-Tarfan in their overtime round, and was almost a big reason why they almost ended up coming out on top there. They just needed the Bob to find a little bit more value when they threw that out there. But on the other side, that DPS line for T-Tarfan has been nothing but great throughout the night so far. Piggles and Bear Fu, it doesn't seem no matter what hero they're playing, they really fall off. It seems like they're very consistent on any hero they come out with.
Couldn't agree with you more. I don't know, man. We're still waiting on the readies. I just find it so comical when we literally go to a 5-minute break and we're still waiting on swaps and teams and stuff. I'm like, we literally give you more time between this and map than the first 2 maps, and you're still taking longer. But we did have a substitution coming in for the side of Big TTT Tarfan. We got, again, substituting on the support line.
Yeah, coming in for Nyla, who, I mean, they did good last map, and they did good in the first map as well, but this must be a little bit of a more comp-based pick coming out here. Maybe they want to run a little bit better.
Ana,
with the
dare I
dive
say
comps.
Ana?
Ana, maybe?
Oh.
No, it's the Kiri. Ray, I don't feel like we can talk about anything of what T-Tarfan is running at the moment.
Sure cannot. That is just no. We will talk about Squirt Squad since they are on the defense. They are actually going to go with the Brig Ana adaptation, you know, full excuse me. Full on, this is what you think of when you think of dive in Overwatch. Normally you think of Winston, not necessarily Diva, but the Brig Ana with the tank is going to be key. I do like seeing Pineapple on the Echo for this map, being able to, you know, sync up sticky bombs, dynamites, focusing beam, lots of burst damage potential for the side of Squirt Squad.
Yeah, and I mean, you're seeing T-Tarfan. I don't hate this composition. Bear Fu, I mean, we've seen them be good no matter what hero they're playing. Piggles, though. Sombra is in a little bit of a gray area for me. I thought they were dead. I was proven wrong. I've been proven wrong a lot of the time here recently. But you have to play much more aggressively now.
We'll have to see how this Sombra continues to progress throughout this map. I think it's an interesting wrinkle to have to deal with if you're to the side of Squirt Squad. As Kirsten on this Winston again, you got to be getting very careful. As we mentioned, the amount of burst damage you have between the micro missiles, the stickies, the focusing beam, Winston can be obliterated in a second.
Yeah, but that support line there, they have the Ana back up here like you kind of expected from them, so they're going to be able to heal them up pretty good. Nice dynamite out there from Nuke onto the backline, really slowing them down, but that's not what you want to be seeing if you're Squirt Squad. Bribertino taken out here pretty early from the mech, and you see him just trying to spam in whatever shots they can, the hack and everything coming out to them. A nice Bionate on the other side, but it's not really going to matter much here as Piggles already finding 2 and continuing that hot streak here for the DPS on the side of Baby Big T-Tarfan.
Yeah, we're seeing the value of the Sombra already doing its thing. I mean, the sync-up you can have between Kirsten, Bearfu, and Piggles has been insane. Gets the late stagger onto Zazo as Squirt Squad is looking to reel. We do see Pineapple going over the Reaper, which Reaper's kind of known as like the Winston Buster, so you got to be very careful if you're Kirsten of that at least.
And Nuke making the swap as well. They want to play a little bit faster here. They want to be able to disrupt that backline because we've talked about in the past, the Ana Brig backline is something that is very vulnerable, not necessarily fast moving. Something like Nuke can just get in there and completely ruin it.
Airfu. Blade online. Nano available for Zaza to try and help protect whoever they decide to go after, but EMP very close to online for Piggles.
They land the hack on the Bribritino there. I don't think they were able to land the virus out as well, but the blade out from Bearfood. The sleep not going to come on them. Already finds one. There's number 2, and they're looking for more here, but the damage already done this fight. Bearfood finding a third. They're looking for a fourth, but it seems like Nuke and Bribritino are just going to be able to escape here for the moment. Bribritino escaping through death.
And they're able to do it with a naked blade. They didn't need no nano. They didn't need nothing. So they bank all of their ults. So this is going to be a big, as Joker would call, ult fiesta coming this next fight. But EMP is so big, it can just shut down absolutely everything.
It's going to be very difficult for Squirt Squad to do anything here. There's the EMP landing onto 4. Bribritino immediately gets DMAC. The nano thrown out on the Kirsten. Nuke's going to be able to find one, but that's sadly going to probably be the only thing that Squirt Squad gets here, as Big T-Tar fan looking like the team we saw all the way back on Lijiang Tower, and the rally coming out here?
Huge mistake. I mean, Pineapple was popping off there, and maybe if you didn't get antied, something could happen, but no, I think it was just a big mistake. Definitely didn't want to use that there. As we saw Bribritino for a second on the Junker Queen, but they decide, you know, maybe that's not the best of decisions. They're going to go over to the Winston and have ourselves a little bit of honorable Winston Overwatch.
I would not have hated to see the Queen come out here. I feel like it might have been able to help them out a little bit here, because you're really starting to see Kirsten just come alive on this Winston here, and Bribritino is starting to kind of lose that dive tank battle here at the moment. Anti-nade coming out there from Zazo, kind of whiffs on everyone, just goes into that wall in the far corner of the map. Pineapple, though, just chunking Kirsten down, but now the Primal Rage coming out from them as they already get rid of Zazo, and oh, honey, you're not looking much good either here. Nuke gonna be able to find one in that backline, but Kirsten completely clearing the support line off the face of the earth here for Squirt Squad, and the rest of their team soon to follow.
And for Big T-Tar fan, 4 minutes on the clock, and they only got to win one more fight to bring this point home. Nano Blades available, plus a rally and a pulse bomb. Things are looking rough for Squirt Squad. They do have a lot of ults to match here, but this Nano Blade can just wrap it up.
Nano Blade out in full force here, and now you see the Nano thrown out on the Bribritino. Rally out here from Spice Toast. They're going to be the first one to fall here. Bribritino going to be able to find them. Bearfood finds 2. The Death Blossom will find 1, but Piggles right back. Kills being traded back and forth by each side here. Squirt Squad, they desperately need this fight to go their way. They need something. Nuke going to be able to find 1 more, but the sleep on the Bribritino as they are mad, but Nuke eventually going to be able to find them, and Squirt Squad can take a sigh of relief here. They're going to be able to eat some time here.
Huge hold for the side of Squirt Squad. Felt like if that point would have been capped, it would have felt like all the air just taken out of the room, and I don't know if there would have been any coming back from that if you were the side of Squirt Squad. But now, not only do you get to hold and waste more time, but you have Rally and you have Pulse Bomb, so it's going to take at least another fight. Pulse Bomb comes out, finds Spicy Toast.
That recall was almost a little bit scary there for Nuke. They immediately had to blink out of danger, but finding Spicy Toast is a huge pick off here early. And look at what this does here to Big T-Tar fan. They're kind of just all falling back. The only one not doing that, Kirsten. They know they can survive a decent amount of damage.
That they can, as we see the Winston's battling a little bit on the high ground. Kirsten also has the ability to use that primal if needed, but it doesn't even matter. 2 kills found by Squirt Squad, make that 3, and that is just a wrap up. Lots of time wasted. We're almost down to 2 minutes for the side of Big T-Tar fan, but they do got Nuke, but he'll be back fast.
Yeah, Nuke will be back fast. I'll have Pineapple going over to this venture here as well, but now the ultimates, I mean, they're kind of even when you look at them here, Ray.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you got Rally going up against Primal. He feels pretty even. And then a lot of these ults for both teams are going to be coming on at around the same time. So, you know, Nuke has a little bit of an advantage. Maybe you look to use his Pulse Bomb earlier because you're going to get it slightly faster.
And Kirsten can play aggressively here. They have the get out of jail free card with the Primal Rage. Honey has the Rally here. Those are the only things ready to go at the moment. Bribritino, though, going to be able to live that Pulse Bomb with some help from Honey there now. The Primal Rage out from Kirsten, but Squirt Squad, that card is moving. There's going to be 1 touch there. Pineapple doing what they can here at the moment. Bribritino desperately trying to build up to their own Primal Rage as well. Nano out on to Kirsten there, and you see the damage already coming out here, but Squirt Squad still has one more on the cart. Barbartino, that Primal Rage is ready for them, finding one, looking for a second one before they have to pop it, but they pop it right there. Right now, their main goal is just stall out the cart. You do see Nuke coming back into the fray, but Big Tarfan, it looks like they're backing up.
They have to back up. They didn't have the reinforcements to be able to re-engage, and because they bought enough time, the nano could have came on to Barbartino as well, so I think smartly you back up, but now there's under a minute left on the clock for Big Tarfan.
You have the Blade ready to go here if you're Bearfoo. It needs to find a lot of value like this last time. Blade out from them, gonna be able to find Honey. The nano thrown out on the Barbartino. You do have the touch there, but now they're focusing in on Zazo. Kirsten gonna be able to take care of them. Tectonic Shocks coming out here from Pineapple. Looking to do a lot of damage. We'll get rid of Kirsten here. Already a lot of members out. Piggles, last one left alive. They're cleaning up house here right now for Big Tarfan. Piggles trying to clean up one more, but they're just going to back out, realizing the Squirt Squad is coming back from the spawn.
They have to. Not much else they can do there. One thing I'm looking forward to, and what will be the final fight for this attack for Big Tarfan, dueling pulse bombs, Nuke, and Piggles, but the X factor could just be Spicy Toast. Rally should be exactly what they need to get this across the line.
Piggles almost dies right there. They have a Pulse Bomb ready to go. You know they're looking for a backline somewhere. Pulse Bomb out from Nuke. Their target was Spice Toast. Not going to be able to find them there. Anti out on the Kirsten. Pulse Bomb from Piggles. Both Pulse Bombs go calling here. Honey dying right there, but you do see that rally coming out from Spicy Toast. The stun coming out as well on the Zazo. Piggles now cleaning up yet again. 3 kills going their way, and yet again it looks like it should be Big Tarfan completing this map in overtime, but much like Blizzard World, give it up to the Squirt Squad here for eating away at such a huge time bank going into that final point.
It was a valiant third point defense coming out from Squirt Squad. Question is, do they still have gas in the tank to not only come back, cap all 3 points, but win this map in extras? Because it feels like if you get this far again and then end up losing and you're down 2-0 after 3 maps, that could just be the nail in the coffin at that point. I think this is going to be a pivotal moment for Squirt Squad to be able to come back into the series, is taking this map after such a great third point defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they start off really good. If you go back to Blizzard World, they start off really good. Maybe they, kind of through the first fight, took a minute off the time bank, but then they immediately came right back in, capped the first point with a lot of time on that time bank. Then it got stonewalled and were able to break through the defense of Big Tarfan and just kind of never looked back on Blizzard World. They kind of need to do the same thing here, but they really cannot afford to get stonewalled at any point. They need to keep this cart moving as best as they can. They need to make sure that they can give themselves a much larger time bank difference, if any.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
We'll have to see as we see the Diva coming out from the side of Squirt Squad. How is it going to match up against this Winston is going to be the big question.
I mean, we saw it for a brief moment on Blizzard World, and it did work out decently here. But right now, if you're Squirt Squad, you need to be focusing on just getting rid of Kirsten on this Winston. I mean, Pineapple coming out on the Echo is not necessarily a big surprise, but it wouldn't shock me to see them just go back to the spawn here if they die and go right back over to the Reaper.
Already 30 seconds off the clock. Barbartino trying to push this high ground. Lots of damage already taken. Lots of defense matrix available for them, though, as the big nade comes in.
And still, each team not losing anyone just yet. The dive there, though, from Barbartino not going to lead to anything as well. Pineapple already over halfway to that duplicate. Zazo close to a nano here as well. We're going to see ultimates come out before anyone dies here in this engagement.
Anthony come out into Barbartino, gonna have to force that back up, but Zazo gets the pick on a Piggles big nade.
Never mind, we're gonna see someone die before an ultimate comes out. There's the first one, the nano out onto Zazo. Zazo, I think their ultimate got canceled. That nano is nowhere to be found. A huge play there early on from Big Tarfan. But there's one thing that's also moving at the moment. That would be the cart.
It would, but I mean, I guess you get it from under the bridge, so I guess that's good. And Pineapple gets Piggles. Whoa, there might be something. They might be cooking.
They It might have something here. Kirsten, though, has to get out of jail free card with that Primal Rage ready to go. That Pulse Bomb kind of just seemed like a hope and a prayer there. Nothing going to be answered now. Primal Rage out from Kirsten as they immediately go on to that backline duplicate from Pineapple on to their Winston of their own, trying to build up to a Primal Rage here just to help their team out as much as they can. Kirsten, though, jumps back to the safety of their team. Pineapple, it seems like they're not really being aggressive with it. They're just trying to buy some space. A huge sleep there by Zazo. Rally coming out from Honey as Sportsmod wants to try to do something here. Pulse Bomb out, going to be able to find one. The Blade from Bear Fu, only going to be able to find one this time around, but that's good damage. They're getting rid of Zazu as that support line is now gone for Squirt Squad. Pineapple trying to fall back, but Piggles going to be able to get some revenge onto them there. And Bri Tino, that was not the fight that Squirt Squad was hoping for.
It sure was not. A minute and a half left on the clock for Squirt Squad to try and get this first point. Pineapple's going to make a swap over to the Genji. So the only difference now is the Diva versus Winston. As Bravitino does have a get out of jail free card with this remake.
Yeah, they have the get out of jail free card, but we've seen them use it aggressively in the past. Just try to maybe catch Big T-Tar fan off guard. I would not be surprised if they tried to do the same thing here, but at the moment, if you're Squirt Squad, you need to find an early pick here to give yourself a little bit of confidence. And that's exactly what you get right there. Martino gets rid of Bear Fu. Now they're getting rid of again. This is exactly what you're looking for. Finally, the dam has broken here for them. They just need to clean up the remaining two members of T-Tar fan, and they should be able to cap this first point.
It's taking them much longer, but they're moving the cart in the meantime. Point cap should come in. There's no point in contesting this if you decide a big TT Tar fan. You got them down to 30 seconds on this first point. You wasted a lot of time. I think, you know, all things considered, your job was done on that first point.
Yeah, 3 minutes on the time bank here now, but if you're Squirt Squad, you feel pretty confident about this next engagement. Look at the ultimates you have, the Nano, a bomb, and a Pulse Bomb. The Nano could just be invested just to try to get something going here early on. Pulse Bomb out, though, from Piggles. Going to be able to find Honey. Zazo taken out as well, so those plans you had for maybe using an ultimate, gone.
Yeah, the thing you can say for the side of Squirt Squad is, you know, you're going to have a lot of time still, a lot of ults for the next fight, and because you were able to get this all the way in overtime, the clock is kind of a moot point. You just have to make sure you continuously get these points delivered. It doesn't matter how much time you have left on the clock, because, you know, if you get it into overtime, you were both in overtime anyway. It's not like you'll have this huge time bank you're trying to come back from.
Nano Blade out on the field. Zazo target number 1. Honey target number 2. That support line has just been deleted off the face of the earth yet again by Bear Fu. And look at what this does here to the Squirt Squad. Again, very reminiscent of Blizzard World, where they're just being stonewalled after the first point cap.
Minute and a half essentially left on the clock for Squirt Squad, but again, they've just been being patient, allowing Big TT Tar fan to burn through these ults, and now they should be able to re-engage here. Nano Blade, Rally, Diva Mech, they have a lot.
But they have to deal with a Primal Rage, the Rally coming out to try to keep Zazo alive. Nano thrown out on the Bri-Tino here, just desperately trying to get anything to go their way, but Bear Fu, that is just pouring some salt on the wounds at the moment. The deflect kill, Nuke taken out as well. Bri-Tino not going to invest the bomb into this engagement, so they're going to be holding on to it yet again. But that time bank now, Ray, is starting to become a big factor. It's not in Squirt Squad's favor anymore.
Yeah, with how much distance they have not been able to gain, with how much time is left on the clock, this is where things get tough, because you're in a situation where you're going to have to win at least 2 to 3 fights on this point to get it delivered, and the time is just not on your side at this point. Nuke gets staggered now. This is just getting worse and worse for the side of Squirt Squad.
And again, Squirt Squad, they need something, anything to go their way. They need to find an early pick. It just seems like everything they're kind of throwing out at the moment are just hopes and prayers, just like that sleep dart we saw.
Piggles been very good with these pulse bombs, has another one online. If you're the back line of Squirt Squad, you got to be very, very careful, because Piggles is looking for you.
Piggles, I mean, Nuke could be looking for the same thing right now as well. Bri coming up here first. There's the Blade from Pineapple. Needs to be able to find something here. They find Spicy Toast again taken out. But Bear Fu now, they have a Nano Blade of their own ready to go. Nuke running for their life. But you already see Honey, Pineapple down. Squirt Squad finally starting to push that cart, but they can no longer get off of it anymore.
No, they cannot. Pulse Bomb goes wide for both sides. Piggles finds Zazo, and it is looking like disaster for the side of Squirt Squad.
bomb coming out from Brightino, just trying to get back into the mech. No one's going to be taken out by it here, so Squirt Squad buying themselves some more time here, but they desperately need to find some picks, not be the one getting picked here. Nuke Honey taken out early. Pineapple shortly following them to the grave, and it looks like this is going to be Big Tarfan600 putting themselves on series point. Only one map win away now from the grand finals.
As Big Tarfan has kind of been the favorite in this division all season long, and they're kind of showing why. They are just looking like, when they look at Squirt Squad, they're like, look, doesn't matter if we can't play the Malga. We'll come to the dive map, we'll match your dive, and we're still going to beat you at your own game.
Yeah, and it looked so good for Squirt Squad, especially after Blizzard World. I think Big Tarfan just had a huge sigh of relief once they were able to get the draw there, knowing that they still had a good chance here to potentially have this be a 3-0 scoreline at the end of the day. But now, Ray, we talked about this a little bit after the first map, after the second map as well. The dive maps slowly starting to, you know, get out of the map pool here, but now with how Big Tarfan is playing, if you're Squirt Squad, do you even try to go back to a dive map?
To me, I mean, there's no chance of really going back to dive. There's only 2 different map types we can go to at this point. Well, 3, but 2 are looped together. So we have Push, which is Runasapi, New Queen Street, Coliseo, Esperanza. I think those are going to be more favored towards your Malga no matter what map you go to. And then for your Push/Clash, I mean, Hanaoka, Throne of Anubis, New Junk City, and Surabasa, it's all going to be Malga or some semblance of that. So I think if you are a big Tarfan, it does not matter where you go. You're going to be able to play that Malga.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Squirt Squad, you either mirror the Malga yourselves here, or you just have to try to play something else. The Diva has worked at times, but has not necessarily been able to get you over the hump just yet. Do you pull out something like a Junker Queen? We have seen their tank tease that pick for a moment before
NRG Shock, baby,
off of it. Yeah, quickly swapping off of it. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, as we do know what our next and potential final map of this series might be here, Ray. And they're bringing us to a push map, and they're bringing us to Runasapi.
I don't think it's a huge shock. I think if you're trying to at least keep away from Malga, I've seen plenty of teams not play Malga on this. I mean, you're not going to play dive, but you're not hard stuck Malga on here. I think if you went to Flashpoint or Clash, that's kind of where you would have been stuck in. So at least you have the option to play other things on a map like Runasapi. I've seen Aristas on this map. I've seen Ramatras recently. I've seen Winston on this map, ironically, recently, but I think really I've even seen Zarya on this map. So we're in a situation where it's mostly going to be more brawl-centric rush compositions. And that's, I mean, look back to Lijiang, it was pretty dominant for the side of Big Tarfan.
Yeah, and you did see that one sub coming back in here for Big Tarfan. Nyla coming back in for again, did great last map. Did exactly probably what they were brought in to do. Play the honor there. Now you see Nyla coming back in because they're probably going to be playing something like that Juno here again. And I mean, Ray, this is not necessarily a shock for Big Tarfan. Maybe the Ramatra pick is, but Brightino hovering over the Diva at the moment.
The Ramacha is okay. I was gonna say, yeah, just go to the Malga. This is kind of what I expected out of you guys. Squirt Squad, I think they're just gonna die on the hill of playing the Diva that, you know, they've done well on. Nuke gonna go over to the Ashe. I think this is the composition where Squirt Squad has looked their best. So I mean, die on the hill of what you've been best on.
Yeah, Piggles, though, sticking with the Sombra. Maybe they thought they found something last map that's going to help him out here very early on. But, I mean, if you're able to land viruses on the Brightino at will, you're going to be able to find a lot of value here early on. And, hey, hacks as well. I mean, you just see him kind of bullying Brightino out at the moment.
Oh, we see that stomp coming in from Kirsten on the Malga. Didn't find any picks. And it allowed Squirt Squad to definitely divert attention away and, you know, get back. But a lot of distance already bought for Big Tarfan.
Yeah, a lot of distance here. But, I mean, you see Squirt Squad, they're just trying to find their opening. They're trying to find one person from Big Tarfan who's just going to, you know, overextend just
Nyla,
enough. another hack coming out there on the Brightino, not gonna necessarily get a lead to anything, but still, just look at the pressure being applied here by TTarfan, just able to force Squirt Squad back already about halfway towards that first point.
Feels like Nyla's the only one they can really go after, though. Everyone's either beefy or has an escape tool.
I mean, Nyla technically does have a good escape tool of their own with Speed Ring and just the jump jets they have, so they aren't necessarily lacking in get out of jail tools at the moment. But still, if you're Squirt Squad, you need to find something here. You're gonna have Orbital Ray, and my feeling is you invest that now if you want to try to get something to go your way. And hey, they apparently they're listening to me. And not Orbital Ray out. They're trying to chase down everyone here from bigbigttarfan, but bigbigttarfan able just to kite it out. Bearfoo, though, not able to do just that, but they're going to be able to finally start cleaning up some members here.
Yeah, it was a great disengage overall from bigbigttarfan, but Bearfoo was just not able to completely disengage. They find the pick, and at that point, all things reset for the side of bigbigttarfan, and the distance should be matched. I mean, it did cost you, you know, the orbital array, but I mean, if you're a bigbigttarfan, you should be able to just re-engage with that and flip this point back into your favor.
And I gotta say, for the first 2 minutes of a map, I feel like that's the least amount of death I've ever seen. 3 deaths in the first 2 minutes.
Pretty crazy. There's the orbital array.
And here comes almost everything for bigbigttarfan. EMP gonna come out, only land on the Brightino, but you see Nuke now coming alive. Bob gonna be able to find one. They find Piggles, but immediately gonna be stomped out there. Brightino finding them right back out, though, as you see the supports here for bigbigttarfan, stealing that bot away here for the moment.
Yeah, that's actually a big deal, but that's a big team fight win for the side of Squirt Squad decks. They used both the Orbital Ray and Piggles used that EMP in that fight, and they still end up coming up on top. Huge, huge win for the Squirt Squad.
Yeah, normally in the past, the Orbital Ray has always been an automatic team fight win for TTarfan, and the EMP, especially when we saw it last map, was also basically a straight-up win for them. But great plays there by Squirt Squad. Their backs are against the wall now. They want to try to make this into an interesting series. Yeah, the draw made it into interesting for that reason, but now you see the cage coming out here from Kirsten, but Death Blossom out as well. Rally, though, not going to be enough. It's going to be able to find 3 bomb from Brightino, does find 2, but the damage already dealt here for the Squirt Squad.
I can't tell. Did they get the point cap?
Yes, they did.
Okay, huge. Yeah, exactly. Damage already done. That's basically just big checkbox number 1 for the side of Squirt Squad. I mean, for future fights now, you'll have those early spawns. Not for this fight, but this next fight's going to be pivotal for bigbigttarfan being able to match this point gather. I think the disengage here is probably smart. You didn't have your full team there yet. You have the rally to sustain, but you're going to have to be on alert because not only does Pineapple have this blade, but Zazo very close to the Ray.
Rally coming out. Zazo, again, this was a problem we saw in the first couple maps. First one taken out of an engagement. Piggles immediately finds Nuke. This DPS line for TTarfan is absolutely scary. And hey, they're going to definitely get the forward spawns here. I think Squirt Squad has about a 0.10 meter difference, though, lead after it.
They do have the ability to re-engage this fight. Oh, 2 meters, yeah. 2 meters. So definitely lead's not going to be had, and Piggles goes down. That's a big opening. I don't like that Ray engagement, though. That's.
I don't like it either.
That's just a massive disengage. It's an easy disengage for bigbigttarfan.
Yeah, and it's almost at the point where you would kind of want to be holding on to that for when Nyla has their own orbital
I agree.
Ray. And that's the second time we've been able to say that this series. I mean, it just didn't find the value here. You're now banking on Bob and Blade here, finding enough when they do use it to really help, you know, even out the scales a little bit.
To see the duplicate onto the Genji. Blade out for Pineapple gets absolutely obliterated.
I mean, you also have the duplicate out here from Piggles, who's struggling to find absolutely anything out as well. They're not going to be able to build up to a blade of their own, but because bigbigttarfan was able to get those forward spawns, the bot's not going to have to stop here. They're going to be able to take the lead. Bob, though, being invested, Orbital Ray from Nyla will be able to find Zazo, but because the Bob is on the cart, actually, no, someone from Squirt Squad is absolutely stealing the cart.
Insane play, honestly, coming out from Squirt Squad. Yeah, it was Brightino able to steal that cart and just just delay the inevitable lead take. But in the meantime, a lot of the members for Squirt Squad will be able to get back, and bigbigttarfan won't take him long to be able to get back on his own either. So great play.
Absolutely great play right there. Does help them a little bit out as well, because look, bigbigttarfan has the bomb. Rally about to be back online. Zazo close to another orbital ray, and I mean, Squirt Squad does not want to give up this very, very slight lead that they do have here. Cage, though, coming out is going to force bigbigttarfan to play basically right next to that bot. Bomb coming out, going to be able to find Kirsten. That's not who you want to see fall, but you do find bigbigttarfan. Kills again being traded back and forth. Rally now out from Honey as they just want to try to get rid of this. bigbigttarfan does have those forward spawns. That's why you see them so heavily engaging into this fight still. Finally, Barefoot going to fall right there, and it seems like Squirt Squad should be able to reset the spawns, but Ray, remember when I said they had a 1.10 meter of a lead before? Well, that's exactly what they have now.
Yeah, they definitely do. The one thing they're going to have a big advantage is going to be this orbital array. As long as it's used properly and at the right time, it should win them a fight and actually get them a good lead here.
Bot almost back to the barrier here for Squirt Squad. You see the ultimate's about to be online for bigbigttarfan. The orbital ray just looking to build some space right now, trying to keep everyone alive. Blade out from Barefoot, but they're kind of swinging at air right now. However, Nuke Pineapple taken out. Honey will find Spicy Toast. The Blade still alive and kicking here for Barefoot. Gets a final swipe there onto Honey. Honey will eventually fall right there, but Squirt Squad, they did what they needed to do here, getting these forward spawns and also building onto their lead a little bit.
They actually got the duplicate out of Piggles as well. bigbigttarfan still alive and finding these kills, but 2 DPS still alive. That focusing beam is going to clean things up. They get themselves a 7-meter difference, but they forced out a decent amount of ults at a bigbigttarfan.
And look at bigbigttarfan. Kirsten no longer on the Malga, going back to the Diva.
Which is kind of playing into what Squirt Squad was hoping. Nuke also has a stall tactic and be able to use the Bob. Nyla dangerously close to this orbital array, however.
The Bob's going to have to be something big here. Bomb as well. It's Squirt Squad, this is a very pivotal fight for them here. If they win it before that orbital ray comes out, they're able to kind of reset the cart or reset the bot here a little bit. Bob, though, gonna be the first thing engaged here, and I like the placement of it. It forces bigbigttarfan to play inside.
It does, and they're forced to take a huge rotation all the way through the outside, but there's the orbital ray.
And you see just everyone on Squirt Squad trying to back up. Pineapple a little bit too slow, and if you're the rest of Squirt Squad, you cannot fall here. You do not have a big lead. That bot will push that barrier past it.
Yeah, with Nuke going down, that's going to be the lead taken for the side of bigbigttarfan. You will have a blade differential, but a minute left. You're going to have to cobble together at least 2 team fight wins for the side of Squirt Squad, but it is possible. If you can win this fight with Blade alone, you can come into what will be the final fight with your orbital ray and your rally.
You cannot allow them to keep pushing this cart, though. They already have a 20-meter lead after just getting it for the first time this entire map with about a minute to go here. Squirt Squad, throughout the rest of it now, cannot lose a fight. And you look at what bigbigttarfan's coming up to here. They're coming up to a decent amount of ultimates as well, but if you're Squirt Squad, you need to be finding picks. The Blade and the duplicate out. Blade already getting rid of Nuke. Pineapple pops their own Blade in response, finding Nyla out. Gonna be able to help find Honey, but Spicy Toast finding themselves out as well. There, no supports other than Honey on the side. Bomb coming out here from Piggles. Gonna be able to find Honey, and everything's starting to fall apart here for Squirt Squad.
Oh, it is looking bad, and even worse. Now you're in a situation where you're looking at 3 fights you have to win in a row. Yes, do you have one with the orbital ray? You do, but I don't know if you have the tools to be able to win 3 like this.
I mean, you have orbital ray, you have bomb. You're hoping Nuke can catch fire here and build up to another Bob. Overtime has commenced. The lead 32 meters for bigbigttarfan.
They are allowing a lot of free bot progress, so maybe this went from what I thought would have been 3 fights to possibly only 2.
Dynamite's gonna be huge to get rid of Barefoot.
Huge opening
now.
pick
If
on
you're Squirt
Barefoot.
Squad, you're just looking to clean up this fight without investing anything. Zazo almost gonna be able to find them there. Kirsten, though, gonna get demeched, not gonna use the bomb. So now, if you're Squirt Squad, you feel very, very comfortable now. You're finding the kills you need. You're gonna be able to reset the spawns here, but now.
I think we might have lost Dex here. I was trying to make sure, but it's going to come down to this final fight. We have Orbital Ray, Eva Bomb, and Bob. Out comes the Bob, but Nuke in the backline. Bearfu finds one as we see the rally online. Oh, the Bob finds Zazo. Orbital Ray did get thrown out, but it's not going to be enough. It actually might have been canceled. I don't see it out there. Devastating as now the Orbital Ray comes out for the side of Nyla, and that is going to be all she wrote. Big T-Tar fan wins this series 4 maps, 3-0 differential.
What a time for Discord to die on our ends there, Ray. But this was a great series here for Big T-Tar fan. Squirt Squad did make it interesting throughout the 4 maps. We did see definitely a formidable foe for this Big T-Tar fan squad. But at the end of the day, I mean, it was just huge plays coming out from that DPS line, in my opinion, for T-Tar fan that really put them over the edge.
Yeah, really, it came down to getting that count. I didn't see the Orbital Ray come out. I saw the ult icon pop up, but I didn't see the Ray come out. I think it might have been canceled for the side of Squirt Squad, which was absolutely... I mean, at that point, it was kind of too late. You were already down 1 anyway. Nuke got taken down in the back line. So that alone, Bearfu getting into the back line and fighting that pick wrapped things up. But the Orbital Ray getting canceled also didn't help.
Yeah, it absolutely didn't help, but I mean, Big T-Tar fan played it perfectly there at the end. They knew that they didn't have to invest any ultimates. They had a couple fights that they had to win. They could give up 1 or 2, and everything worked out perfectly for them there. They have now locked themselves into a playoff or into the grand final spot. Squirt Squad, though, we talked about this coming into the series here, has a little bit of a sizable break here before that lower bracket finals matchup, as we're still waiting on a lot of the lower bracket to be played out.
Yeah, we have to keep in mind because of the Thanksgiving break for, NA, sorry, EU. They got 2 weeks to be able to complete this match. So there's a lot of things that are lagging behind. So as we mentioned, one of the things is the lower bracket. One thing we are going to do before we let you guys go is we will have an interview from the winning team. So we're going to go ahead and set that up and go to a quick break, and we'll be right back with the interview.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are pleased to be joined by Piggles here from our winning squad tonight. Big T-Tar fan 600. Piggles, hey, congratulations on this series. Congratulations on putting yourself in to the grand finals, man. How does that feel?
That feels really great. Thank you for the nice comments. But yeah, we were nervous coming into this match because we knew that they had a really good hit scan player. So yeah, we were just like bot reviewing and practicing scrimming our games and hoping for the best.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys played absolutely amazing. I mean, your tracer was definitely crazy and on point. The big question for me is, I mean, we kind of cursed you guys with the draw there, but were you guys worried given, because I saw they came out with Diva on Lijiang. I'm like, okay, this is definitely, if you're going to play that in Lijiang, you're going to play that anywhere. So were you worried when they started taking you to more of those dive maps, or that was going to be more favorable?
We were not necessarily worried about the dive mirrors. I think we much rather prefer having dive mirrors and stuff like that over like poke compositions because we practice dive a lot. And yeah, when we saw the Diva mirror, we're like, yeah, we can play Diva too, so we just matched him majority of the part.
Gotcha. With that win, you guys lock up your spot in the grand finals, but it's going to be quite a while before because the lower bracket's lagging behind. So you guys are going to have 2-3 weeks before the grand finals actually happen. And in the meantime, there's going to be a new season, a new patch coming out. Are you guys worried about, being ready and just being in a whole new meta for your grand finals matchup?
I mean, that definitely sucks since I think like we have a really good grip of the meta, especially like Mauga. I think we play it really well. It's gonna be hard to adjust, but I feel like 2 weeks is enough time for us to get ready, and hopefully we will give you guys a good show.
Yeah. And hey, I mean, you have this long break now, and you see a lot of these teams that are still down there in that lower bracket. Which one are you kind of looking at here very early on to potentially see in that grand finals matchup?
To be honest, the bottom bracket looks very mixed. Like I don't know who's gonna come out of it, but I really hope JV does well. RG JV, shout out to them. They've been really great.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's always cool to see one of those collegiate teams make a good run here into the playoffs, and they have themselves a great matchup with MMV, yeah, whatever that name is, in that lower bracket matchup there. But hey, man, thank you so much for taking some time out of your night to come in and do this interview. But before we let you go, we will give you the floor to shout out anyone or anything that you would like, man.
Shout out to our coach, Airstriker Alex. Before we came into the match, he said, "Give the people what they want," and I think we delivered. Thank you.
You absolutely did that and more. Thank you so much, Piggles. We will let you go and enjoy this victory with your team, and good luck in the grand finals, man.
All right. Have a nice day, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, Ray. I mean, it was a really good series, a really close series. Even with the scoreline being 3-0, we went 4 maps, we had a draw, and there were points in every map where it seemed like Squirt Squad could have taken one, but just big T-Tar fan 600 was always able to come out on top, and it was because of players like Piggles and like Bearfu that really helped them out here tonight.
That to me was really interesting. Like, Lijiang Tower and Dorado didn't feel as close, but definitely Blizzard rolled in that final map of Runasapi could have gone either way. So, if those, coin flip the other direction, we're at 2-2 at that point. So you never know in a series like this. So I think Squirt Squad just has to reassess a little bit. And I think going into the lowers bracket, they'll probably have at least a week off before their next match will even happen. So they have time to bod review, scrim, and be ready.
Yeah, and especially for some of these collegiate teams here, you have to imagine they're getting very close to being into finals week, and they don't really want to be worrying about Overwatch then. But, I mean, there were times here tonight where Squirt Squad looked like a team that could go the distance. And remember, back in week 3 of the regular season, these two teams did go 5 maps, but not tonight. Big T-Tar fan coming out on top yet again, but this time in a sweeping fashion. But you see the bracket here now for the NAGM tier. And I mean, we've talked about it. We even asked Pickles about it. The break they're going to have now, it's going to be something that's going to be really interesting to watch for both these two teams we saw here tonight.
Yeah, because they're going to have to be ready. It's very likely for both of these teams by the time they play their next match, we're probably going to be in the next patch. Not sure how, I mean, outside of Lifeweaver, if we just go on the history of how heroes have released for Blizzard, we might be in a meta of Hazard when he releases.
I feel so bad for Lifeweaver, man. I feel so bad. I mean, like, the character's great. Just
well, because it was so
everything about
funny. It
him
was
is
like
not.
everyone was like, "Why are these heroes OP?" When they come out, they go, "Okay." So they finally don't do it for Lifeweaver. They go, "Well, this sucks. Why we don't want to play him?" And it's like, now he's the only hero that's ever happened to because they realized, you know what? It's probably better to make the new shiny hero OP at the beginning so people play him or her, whoever they.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Lifeweaver is slowly crawling out of the ditch that Blizzard dug them. But slowly, they still have a long way to go. But like you said, Hazard could be something that's really, really fun to watch. Malcolm might get nerfed into the ground. That normally brings up, a couple other tanks. Hazard might be one of them. It's gonna be interesting to see how people play them. Do they play him as a dive tank? Do they play him as something else? So it's gonna be really fun to see. But we have a long time before that happens here. But Ray, the action is not over here tonight on CGL. Over on CGL 2, there is a matchup going on right now. Demonkins versus Vicious Unforgiven. Demonkins currently up 2-0 in that one. And hey, not very much longer after me and you sign off for the night here will Short Bus and Vicious Sharks be playing on this channel.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Short Bus, the #1 overall seed in the NA console division. Vicious Sharks have also they've been the most successful team of the 4 Vicious teams record-wise and how they've done. So can one of the Vicious teams break through? Because it feels like the 2 teams that have been dominating in this NA console have been Short Bus and Mental Institution. So can someone else finally break through and find a win against these top 2 teams? It's going to be the big question. We'll find out later tonight.
Yeah, and Vicious Sharks, like you said, the highest remaining Vicious team left in the upper bracket. Remember, Vicious had 6 teams make the playoffs in that tier there. So again, I shouted them out yesterday, shut them out here again. Very impressive to see that many here. But before we sign off for tonight, just want to give a quick shout out to everyone behind the scenes, Hippie, June, and Mara, for everything we saw throughout the night here tonight. Ray, want to thank you as always for being the incredible caster that you were. But that will do it for us here now. Make sure you tune back in about 10 minutes for when the next stream gets underway. Hope we all see you then, and good night.